Right, so today I'm joined by one of the coaches off our weekends, an extremely good coach, someone I've learned a lot from, Christian Glinster. So he did 5 years in the Royal Marines, 2 tours of Afghanistan, and so just want to learn a little bit about his experience. So thanks for joining us today, bro. Right. Respect my G. First of all, why did you join the Royal Marines in the first place?
Definitely just looking for a bit of challenge, really. There wasn't really much going on back at home, so just needed a bit of a push, a bit of a challenge, do something with my life.
Did you find that you got that from joining?
Yeah, more than I anticipated. Initially I hadn't anticipated how hard it would be, but definitely found some purpose. I had no idea. If you'd asked me at the age of 18, where am I going to be in 5 years? The answer was just going to be doing exactly the same thing unless I joined up, so it changed things drastically in the right direction.
And coming out the other side of the Marines, are you happy you did it?
Yeah, I adapted quite well to coming out, which is really good. Just used all the positive lessons that you get from it. That strong mindset, resilience, just knowing that you're capable of a lot more than what you initially thought. And then just applying that to business, family, and being a little bit of drive. You know, you have a lot of time on when you're in the Marines in terms of working more hours and more days than you initially thought, and then you have a lot of time off as well, so have that good balance. But then it just teaches you when you have to do those 12, 16, 20 hour days at work when you're self-employed, you can hunker down and do that, you know, you've got it in your locker. Did
you find like a difference when you went in and come back out of training and back from Afghan? Did you struggle to sort of adapt back into civic shield?
The only thing you struggle with is people haven't got sometimes the same drive as what you've got, which is a fair shout because they haven't been through what you've been through in terms of the training and what's expected of you. You've got a very high standard of yourself and those around you when you're inside, but once you get out into civvy streets, the standards are a little bit lower in different respects. People know what time they clock in, what time they clock out, and they'll drag that out sometimes, so it's quite hard to find people that are on the same mindset as you and go along that. But you know, on the other side of the coin, there are people that are very driven as well, and because you have that mindset, you then gravitate towards them, and you'll build stronger relationships, and you won't waste your time with people that drag the heels.
Yeah. Military life, was it as expected, or what were some of the different things that you weren't expecting it was like?
Because I was so young, I think I was a bit naive at the age of 18, so I didn't really know what to expect, to be fair, other than just read that sort of pamphlet that they give out and then gave that a go. So I think it was similar to what I expected in terms of the day-to-day stuff. However, it was a lot more difficult to get to that point. Definitely, it's a lot less showy than what you think it's going to be, and there's a lot more getting your hands dirty than you'd expected. You know, in terms of just sitting out in the field, doing the hard work, becoming a housewife before you become a soldier, that type of stuff.
And unit life's obviously come out of Livingston. What was that sort of like the day-to-day life for you, like routine and things?
Yeah, routine's a lot more chilled sometimes than what you'd expect. So sometimes you think you'd be go, go, go all the time, but it's not. It's just when you're on task, you're expected to be there early, give 100%, and that be done. The unit's full of good lads, good camaraderie, really good, strong brotherhood. You'll do anything for each other, so you'll have mates from home on Civvy Street that you've known for 10 years, and you won't be as close to the lads that you've been known for 10 months, just because you've been through that together. So I find the brotherhood there is quite strong and it's enjoyable.
Did you get like what you wanted to get out of it? As in, like, did you come away going, because you did 5 years, like, did you feel like I'm fully fulfilled in the things I did?
Yeah, I think I didn't really know what I wanted out of it, but I definitely left with a lot of things that gave me good life lessons. So like I say, that mental resilience and the ability to know that you can do a little bit more than what you'd expected of yourself, or a lot more than what you expect of yourself. And that carried over really well when I came out. So I don't know what I expected to leave with, but I definitely left with stuff that carried me on in life, and I still try and use now every single day and pass down to my little one as well.
And like, you did 2 tours of Afghan. Did you do Iraq or did?
No, I didn't do it, just Afghanistan.
What was that what you expected? Was it like more kinetic? Was it?
It was both different tours. Yeah, both completely different, to be fair. So once again, it was a lot less showy than what you expect, but very much like when you say like unit life, when you're on, and when you're off, you're chilled. So sometimes there was downtime where you'd sit there and say, this is quite mundane, and you'd have to get around the mundane tasks of filling sandbags, stacking walls, filling up the resupplies coming in with the your organ and your ration boxes and all that type of stuff. And this is the stuff you didn't anticipate doing in the middle of like 50-degree heat, and that stuff can be quite mundane, and that's when that bootneck mentality comes in. Even when you're given a task, you still do it at 110%. And then when it is kinetic and then when it is on, you're expected to know what to do and be switched on. And once again, like that strong brotherhood stuff kicks in, and you're able to look after each other.
Do you think that Livingston like Commando training set you up for Gunners?
Definitely, yeah. I had a really good training team, quite positive. So they had encouraged us to do a lot of things, just basic stuff like not using wash machines throughout the whole of training. And then as a result, when you get out to doing a tour and there are no washing machines, life's not difficult because you know what you're doing, you know how to hand wash and dry and how to be efficient. So yeah, the training team there are solid, full of experience, and unlike Civvy Street, a lot of the people or everyone who's above you had been through stuff that you've been through and then more, so you can aspire to be like these people, which is I think what civilian life should be more like, where it's based on meritocracy. You get your ranks, your gongs, whatever it is done through tours, years in service, and they're really good lessons. When I came outside, it's less that, and then you have to adjust to that.
And when it got heated in like Afghan, did you react in a way that you thought you would, or was there like how did you respond?
Yeah, you react to those around you as well. So you react exactly how you want to react. I did anyway, but generally seeing people around me that were a lot more experienced, I'd say 80% of those on my first tour were more experienced than me, and they sort of had good leadership skills, and I wanted to aspire to be a bit more like that. So you look around you and you're always keeping up, you're always trying to keep up with those above you, and that just really breeds a better skill set. And on the dark days, how did you get through that? Like mentally, it's a pretty difficult one because everyone deals with it differently. Myself, I don't know, I probably didn't deal with it in the most positive senses, just don't talk about it really, and that's not my advice, that's just the way I did it. Didn't really talk about it, I didn't resort to like drink or anything like this, it just repressed it a bit, which sometimes has effects, or definitely had its effects later on, but that's just how I dealt with it. And I suppose you have that support network around you, but I don't know a single lad that talked to another lad really, and that's nothing to do with lack of education. I think that's just the sort of way we do things. Like I say, it's not what I'd advocate, but it's just what happens.
Yeah. And coming out the other side of the military, and you've set your own business up here, functional strength, where it all come down here if you want to learn Olympic lifting, S&C, all that good stuff, bit of master. How did it sort of set you up to go into business life and the challenges of it? You know, like the times where you've got financial struggles and things. Yeah,
setting up your own place, obviously, it's a major struggle, but since coming out, I've only ever surrounded myself with people that I found were positive and had a good influence on me as well. So I had those around me, which meant that I had lots of encouragement and people who would give me, you know, a good support network. Doesn't mean just saying yes and being a yes man, but people say that's a good idea, or hang on, have you thought that through? So I had that around me. I was able to make sensible decisions because of it. But when there was days where I needed to be in here painting all day, setting up the business, getting new equipment in, setting it all up, and you're here for maybe 20 hours a day, sleeping 4 hours, go again. I had that in my locker, which is good. And once again, I don't know if I've had that strong mindset or capability, have I not been through that training. So it's definitely something you get. And when you get in there, you don't get mindset training in basic training. It's not like they teach you this is how your mindset should be. You just figure it out. If you figure it out, you'll be a successful candidate.
Yeah. And what would you say to any young man or woman looking to join, but not only them, they're also like their parents and family, who are sort of on and on with the decision to join?
I definitely think it's a great decision. I think it's something everyone should undertake. You know, I'm a big fan, maybe it's a bit old school, of like the national service. Maybe it's wouldn't work in nowadays sort of environment, but I do think something along those lines would be great. I think any young person would benefit. And then if they find a good leader within that, they'll find what they're good at. You know, whether they put them down any different route in the tried service, whether it be Army, Navy, RAF, anything like that, they'll find what's right for them, but there's benefits to be taken for all of them, and they'll come out a more mature adults as well. You know, we've got a generation of 25, 30-year-olds that can't do their own laundry. Yeah, that's not on, so we need to try and bring that round a bit more, and I think military service has a big thing to offer there.
I'm working on her, but obviously she's... And if you had to have one role model, who someone who's been like a real influential figure in your life? Who would you say?
It's got to be me and my dad.
No, not like family, like someone in your everyday life.
Probably Toby Leeds.
I'm thinking more someone who's been within the Marines as well.
Probably Chris Tomo. Chris Tomo is
No,
really good.
Thinking someone who comes into your gym regularly and, you know, comes and trains with you quite a lot.
No, I can't think of anyone. Maybe you maybe?
Oh, that's backfired, isn't it? Bit honoured, but a little bit taken back by that. So, yeah, cheers.